voice of Jacksonville Pool.
All right, good evening, everybody. Tim Jones here, back on behalf of Jacksonville APA, the home to the Voice of Jacksonville Pool, and here on behalf of the CPA and APA for the Montreal Invitational. Welcome back to part 3 of the day. We are going 8-ball mode this time. This is 8-ball teams. So waiting on these two teams to get started, but we have Team Stroke of Luck versus Team Line 'em Up. Waiting on some players to get thrown here and get everything rocking and rolling. Come on back into the stream, though, guys. Get everything shared out for us. And again, as we continue through this wonderful tournament here, we're going to try our best to continue showing off many different teams here as much as we possibly can throughout the day. Tomorrow's going to be a great long day of streaming, so make sure you tune in. Give me 1 second, guys, as I get told who's being played. Be right back. All right. Make sure I got everything in order here, and looks like I do. Let's get these names on the screen. Give me 1 second, guys. It's Ava there on the left, Mike on the right. Ava for Team Stroke of Luck. Mike for Team Line 'em Up. We will have a nice skill level 4 V4, which is a 3-3 race in this matchup. And on the second table there, that's Mr. Edward with his back to us here for Team Stroke of Luck here. That is Mr. Polly. Polly skill level 6, Edward skill level 5, and that will be a 5-4 race. Let me make sure I got that written down correctly. Yep, Polly 6, and Edward 5. Perfect. All right, back to our main table here. Let's rock and roll with this, guys. Welcome back to the stream, though. Please, if you get a chance to, take a moment, hit that share button, like, subscribe. Very, very simplistic here. And did we just have a golden break happen? And I was sitting there looking around real fast. Hold on here. I swapped over, hopefully in the nick of time. And I most certainly did. What a way to start. Mike already knocking things out of the park here, up 1-0. Congrats, Mike, on getting a high-level tournament 8 on the break. Goodness gracious. Normally, I'm begging for that kind of stuff to happen throughout the stream, throughout the weekend, and here we are right off the bat, just getting everything popping. Well, that gives Mike an immediate edge in this even matchup. He gets a lot of movement on 8 again. It goes straight to the right-hand long rail this time. Looks like he did get a stripe. He's going to be dealing with a little bit of tight quarters here with the 2 stripes down here below the 8. 13's not in the most favorable place, so honestly, if he's got eyes on it, I definitely agree with him going after it. That would be a great way to start. Very nicely done. Might even have the combo here right past the 8. He needs to take a look at this real quick. But you can already tell with that 8 on the break, Mike's feeling himself right now. Feel good, luck good, play good. There we go. He does hit that 10 ball close to that left-hand long rail. Not quite where he wanted to leave it, but overall off to a fantastic start. Did want to power that one a little more, get that 9 back off the rail, but Mike's running pretty good right now. Looks like he has eyes on the 15 here. Bottom left-hand corner pocket. Needs to come around. Ooh, a lot of movement on the 8 again, but does get the 10 off the rail. That may give him an opportunity to save it back to the table. If I saw correctly earlier, both these teams in the New York area. Let me see if I can pull it back up to make sure here. But yeah, I think, I'm sorry, forgive me. I said corrected here. That's where I was wrong. We looked at somebody else earlier. No, I'm sorry. Team Stroke of Luck from New York. Forgive me. Line them up from Rhode Island. Do forgive me for that. Save it with a small miss there, trying for the 1-7 combo by the look of it. Mike will still have some work, though. 9 balls not in the best place. I don't know if there's space past the 6 here to do a bank. 15 looks like it may have a window with the 7. It's a tough cut, though. Goes for it, gets a nice little carom off the 7. Well played. 7 did open up that pocket a little more. It just still was a steep cut. Going for the bank. Ends up kissing into it pretty evenly here. Sends the 9 ball down to the bottom right-hand corner pocket. And with ball in hand, Ava has got to take, I'm sorry, forgive me, Mike has got to take charge of this now, take advantage. Other table still on rack number 1 right now. We'll come right back to Mike in just a second. Let's check in on this. So Edward at the table again. Skill level 5 versus skill level 6. 4-5 race. Mike's about to come back to the table now and go after that 8 ball here in just a second. Man, the ladies came out firing on all cylinders a little while ago. I was not expecting a 45-minute stream with a 5-minute start time. Good out by Mike here, up 2-0. And with that team line them up, will secure their first team point. Looks like both gentlemen having a little bit of an issue here on the table. Look at the 10-8-5. That will be problematic. Ooh, almost taking over that bottom left-hand corner pocket. Edward for team line them up would not have been upset about that. That actually would have been really good, taking over that pocket. Take a look at the break here. No movement on the 8 there. There we go. Miss Ava getting a good little setup here. Nice little bump in one of her stripes. You're going to put that 14 ball close to that top left-hand corner pocket. She's going to go after 13. Maybe she can come across here and get a little breakout on that 3. Oh, she clips to the 10. Unfortunately, has snookered herself up to the 6. Ooh, good try at the bank shot. Honestly, her ball being back there at the top part of the field is not a bad option at all. Mr. Michael Lucas in stream with us over here on the YouTube side. Welcome in. How you doing tonight? Take a quick gander over here. I saw ball in hand. Come on over to Mr. Edward. He is got to take advantage of that 9 ball right now. I'm assuming 9 is not held up by the 8. If not, he needs to go ahead and go for that. Looks like he's looking over for a timeout. We'll come back over to Mike here. Good try for that top right-hand corner pocket. On downfall as the 7 got knocked out of the way here. That does open up that pocket back for Miss Ava. Nice. She's going to go after this 15. There we go. Oh, a lot of force follow. She's going to hide herself right behind the 3. Let's take a look at the timeout real quick. Ball in hand. I'm assuming they're talking about doing the 9-10 combo. However, he needs to land this to where the 9 stays up. Make the 9-10 combo, take that last stripe top left. Then make that 9 ball. Mr. Matt from our league area, him and Alden are in a doubles match over here, Mini Mania match. He came over to tell me that they are up now. Let's go play their match up here. A lot of people have been taking advantage of the Mini Manias. It's been amazing to see how many they've been able to run and just keep on. I mean, they're knocking them out every chance they get. I feel like they're trying to knock on a door, if there is one, a Guinness Book of World Records for most Mini Manias ran at a tournament. Still think Vegas would obviously hold that just for the space point, but it's still pretty good. All right, let's see how this timeout works. Again, he just rolls it on over. Perfect. Leaves the 9 sitting there. And we can work with this now. Again, I'm pretty sure we're still in rack number 1 over here on table 2. If Edward gets it, though, it'll be a 5-3 race left in this battle, which definitely can help out quite a bit. Sorry, guys. Somebody's stepping a little bit on the scaffolding where we got the camera attached to. He can work with that. He can definitely work with that. Let's take a look, see what Mike's doing real quick, just to break on back over. Looks like it's still a little bit here to handle through this. We'll jump right back over to Mr. Edward working on that 8 ball here in just a second, while he's still deciding what pocket to mark and where to go with it. Nice shot here by Mike. Great leave here, 2 for the 1 ball. Man, I tell you, this competition is tough, man. This is really, really tough. There are some great teams out here at this event. Going for the 5. Got to be careful about his leave here for the 8. Throws it on in, slows up after that side pocket. There we go. He'll be on 8 as well here. Let's see what Edward's going to do. He is calling that bottom right-hand corner pocket. I'm worried about the scratch. It opens up towards it, but that leave is good. That is not bad at all. Mike here on the 8, bottom left-hand corner pocket for a 3-0 flawless victory. Misses it. Almost had the complete shutout there. Miss Ava will be back to the table. She's holding in there, though. She's still wanting to compete, go through with this. I don't see any quit in her attitude, which, again, is what you kind of expect at a tournament this level. Gonna try there on the 9, small miss. Take a quick gander here, what ended up happening. Oh, ball in hand. Looks like Mr. Edwards should be set up just fine for that 8 ball here. Oops, sorry. There we go. He did get it. Forgive me, I flipped over too soon. Back to Mike here, going for the 8 bottom right. Doesn't clip it, clips it too much, let me rephrase. So send it over to the bottom short rail, but he is getting it closer to that bottom right-hand corner pocket. This is going to be very dangerous for Miss Ava if she can't get a little bit of a run walking around, going in her favor here. But her balls are set up pretty good. She can definitely take advantage of this. The other thing to be said, too, is you got to think she hasn't had a lot of opportunity to pot stuff, so as she continues to make more, right, she gets a little bit more comfortable on the table, a little bit more in her rhythm, her flow, That's a tough place that you do not want your opponent to be. You want to prevent that as much as possible. She's on this trying to decide here now. I don't remember if we've had or seen a timeout from Miss Ava for this rack. Oh no, she's kicking at it. Miss Ava, don't kick at anything you can see under majority of circumstances. She gets a good hit though. She's got distance on her side, and the 9 is set up for later, so that worked out. Let's take a quick look before Mike gets on that 8 here. Edward with a good break. Ooh, a lot going back towards that bottom half of the table, though. Bit of a cluster. That's definitely going to be difficult to work with. And that out will put Mike in a flawless victory, winning 3-0 against Miss Ava. And that will get team points up 3-0 as well. I'm going to get everything reset for this table right here, so bear with me for just well, actually, I'll tell you what, we're going to wait till the other table gets over. Bear with me for just a moment as we get the put-ups here, and we'll swap everything over. Mr. Pauly for Team Stroke of Luck, trying to work through some of that. He's got to work through this minefield, not get stuck up on something. Might potentially get stuck on that 2-ball. Looks like Miss Ginger is up. Skill level 3 for Team Line 'em Up. And we will find out who Miss Ginger's opponent is. I like this throw, to be honest with you here. I know some people like to throw a little heavy in this spot. But I kind of like throwing the skill level 3 here. There, Line 'em Up's up 3-0 right this moment. At least has the initial advantage in the other matchup as well. Edward, who was just at table here, only needs 3 racks now to Mr. Pauly's 5. So I kind of like it. I feel like, you know, you got the advantage here. You can throw your low rank, take away some of the stress that they may experience in the matchup. I think it's a pretty wise decision. Pretty wise decision here. Great question. LQ on my YouTube channel asking a phenomenal question. This, can players' handicaps go up? Their skill level is what he's asking. Maybe they start as a 4 but shoot really well and end up as a 5. That is correct. Their skill levels absolutely can go up. Every match is submitted in and reviewed. And, yes, it is absolutely possible for somebody to move up in this high-level tournament. 100%. Still treated the same as like Vegas and any other tournament for APA. And so all that is per the equalizer system, as it's called for APA, which is the handicap system that's in place. So, Cheryl, yes, the brackets are posted. If you look right there at the post that you're in, it should be at the pinned post for CompuSport for you. If you can't find it, let me know. I'll relink. But it is right in there. And again, on table number 1 here, we're just waiting to see who Miss Ginger's opponent is from Team Stroke of Luck. Yeah, Miss Cheryl, my pleasure. My pleasure, no problem. John, great question on the Facebook side here, asking if APA and CPA are the same rules. All right, Miss Crystal coming to the table. John, I'm going to come to that question. Give me just 1 second here. Let me get this punched in, so that way I don't fall behind on keeping track of everything. Miss Crystal, the team captain here, actually coming to battle. CHRIS, sorry. CHRISTAL. Sorry, Miss Crystal, let me get your name in there proper. And this will actually be a 2-2 race coming up on table 1, as I'm calling it. All right, so John asked, he said, I assume APA and CPA are both the same rules. That is correct, yes, sir. Yes, the same rules apply around both. And the why behind that, because I've had somebody ask, well, maybe they need different rules in different areas. The why behind that is because we all eventually, go and play out in Vegas. And in Vegas here, the rules are the same for all of us. So got to be the same everywhere, and that way we can all play by the same set and know what it is. But great question, though. And, John, I'd love to encourage people so much. The digital rule book now and the search menu on it is phenomenal. If you think you know a rule, I challenge you on something that you just know in your heart and soul. You're like, this is a rule. No doubt in my mind. I dare you to search in the rule book here, see what you can find around it, and double check that you are, in fact, correct. All right, Miss Ginger there for the line 'em up team. Getting a break first. Again, 2-2 race in that battle. We'll be bouncing between both tables, guys. Bear with me as we do. Hey, my pleasure, John. And great question, by the way. Again, appreciate you asking. Always love encouraging that. But, yeah, I can't stress enough about the whole need of understanding the rules. There's a lot of what I call tribal knowledge out there with the rules, and, it helps if you really understand what is going on. Let me check in on my YouTube side here, too, see if we got any different questions. We don't. All good. Michael asking, is Ginger still a 3? Let me double-check the score sheet. I thought I saw that's what it said, but currently right now that's what my score sheet shows that they were handed, yes. Mr. Polly here going with the one-rail kick, gets it, and takes over that pocket. He was hoping this 14 would drop so he'd still stay at the table, but that is not a bad way to end your turn. Him and Polly are going at it right now. Again, Polly's up 1-0 right at this moment. This should be rack number 2. I'll double-check with the team to make sure I didn't miss anything. So, oh, I like that. John says I'm a 29-year, goodness gracious, brother, 29-year consecutive member, and I still ask about some rules. The thing I like to tell people, John, about this, and as much as I'm a part of it via the live stream and telling people things and stuff, so I try my best to stay up to date on it. The rules get updated. They change. Things get added. Things get updated. Things get adjusted. And so as much as, we're like, hey, this is for sure a rule. I know it is because of X, Y, Z, and, it happened to me, and it's, what a judge called while I was in Vegas and et cetera, et cetera. Well, if that was, last year, things could have been updated. So there is an update process to it. I don't remember the exact specifications of when things get updated and stuff, but things get updated. It's all we need to know. We need to take a look at them. Plus, again, the digital rule book, 10 out of 10, big fan. I love the search menu. We're going to hop back over here. Take a look at Miss Crystal here for Stroke of Luck. She's going to go for this 13-9 combo, 14-9 combo, sorry. Rolls it easy. She was definitely trying to be on that right-hand side of that 9, but honestly not a bad lead where it's going to be. That's going to be a nice hit by Miss Ginger on their 2-ball here. Trying to go for that cut top right-hand corner pocket. Not quite getting it there. Yeah, both ladies will do themselves major favors, though, to keep slow rolling like they are. They're having a really good speed because they're going to get things closer and closer and eventually get very makeable, winnable shots that will work out very well for them. Again, look at that. She didn't overpower that. Didn't hit it hard. Trying to let the side pocket take over. That is absolutely exactly what she needs to be doing here. Let's take a quick gander back over real fast. Ooh. A little bit Troubleville, USA. Ball in hand. Back to Mr. Edward here, but at 11. That 11's locked up. That thing is done. Went to jail. That thing is locked up that badly. Miss Ginger with good eyes over here on the 7-ball. Going to come off the top short rail just a little bit. Oh, Lord. Guys, bear with me here. Some of my Jacksonvillians are near me over here, near the live stream table, and shenanigans are afoot, to say the least, which is fun. Oh, man, there's something about being up here and having teams and stuff up here, all your friends and stuff. It's good. It is good. Let's take a quick look at what's happening over here. All right, so they're definitely taking a time out here. Assuming he's trying to get him to push the 11, so he's going to hit the 7 on purpose here. Give ball in hand, push the 11 closer to the pocket, and just set himself up for success on that pocket afterwards. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, sorry, guys, I'm back. We just had a little bit of extra running back and forth on the stream here. So this developed a little bit interesting here. We definitely missed something in that ball in hand timeout here because that 11 ball's all the way to the right-hand side. That's Mr. Pauly here for Team Stroke of Luck. Miss Ginger here for Team Line 'em Up. She's looking at slicing this 3 on down. And honestly, that 9 kind of opens up that pocket a little bit. She blocked some of it. That is not bad. That's not bad at all. There might be the window right now for Miss Crystal to go and take advantage of it. But it's a little bit tough to tell. Edward here with the opportunity to be up 2-0 in the race to 4 for him, race to 5 for Pauly. And looks like he's set up for success. There he goes. Good out. Very nicely done. Back to the ladies over here. Both skill level 3s again. 2-2 race. It's Miss Crystal here, captain for Team Stroke of Luck, going for the 9-ball, bottom left-hand corner pocket. Don't know if she can slice enough because of where the 3 is without making a bad hit. That was good, though. She was able to slice it. Nicely done. She's not going to have the best lead for the 14, but that was a great shot. Very, very well played. There we go. Good try on that. Trying to thin slice it to the top right-hand corner pocket. Should have had eyes on the 8. Not been able to make too much with it, but at least would have had eyes to work on it. And now this is great run potential here for Miss Ginger. Nice little roll forward, nothing crazy. She's looking here between the 3 and the 4. If she can pull back that 3, she's going to have good eyes by the look of it with where that 8-ball is. She'll have good eyes on that 4 bottom right-hand corner pocket. Timeout coming on over. Steve, that's a cool concept, my friend. Steve on the Facebook side says, you know, term Super 7 for 8-ball. I always thought it would be cool if you could be a 7+, so you could keep still keep the 23 rule, but if the 7 is like a 7+1, -2, -3, they'd have to win more games because honestly, there's some almost semi-pro 7s. Yeah, it's actually a cool concept. I don't know if that'll be a change or not, but I like like where your head's at. Yeah, she definitely was trying there. She's got a tough leave on that 4. Again, checking it on over here. That's Edward at table again for Team Line 'em Up, who has the lead right now. And he is up 2-0 right this second against Mr. Pauly for Stroke of Luck. He's running good. We'll see if Miss Ginger can get herself out of this here. Timeout's already been had. So she's in a little bit of a predicament. Give me 1 second, guys. Be right back. All right, sorry, guys. I'm back. All right. Ball in hand over here for Miss Crystal. Again, team captain for Stroke of Luck. Trying to make sure and get her team some points. That line them up, getting 3-0 can desperately start hurting real bad. You get another loss underneath your belt. Keep in mind, this is matchup number 3 out of potentially 5 for these teams. And I think I see Miss Crystal calling team captain on over here. Or calling somebody on over here for a timeout. I like it. I like the use of the timeout here. I think it's a wise decision. Ball in hand. Got to take advantage. Got to take advantage here. While they're talking real fast, let's take a quick gander at the other game between Pauly and Edward. Got a tougher stripe here on the bottom short rail, but luckily got the 9 to get it out. Yeah, if he can slow roll this, he might try to stop shot, and this may not go well. If he slow rolls this, he'll be good. There you go. Good speed. Good control. Very, very nicely done. Mike did for Team Line 'em Up. Mike Leonard, skill level 4, got the 3-0 victory against Miss Ava Lucas, skill level 4. Great question there, William. How you doing, bud? Appreciate you being in the live stream. He is snookered up. Crystal actually has an opportunity for a pretty nice defensive shot here if she can think about it. Now, granted, keep in mind both ladies skill level 3, right? So we need to put things into realistic expectations here. Normally you don't see a lot of threes playing a lot of defensive shots. But it looks like she's really thinking about it, though. Oh, no, she's going to go for the swing. It is pretty open, though. We got both tables right now shooting for the 8. So Edward had just a small miss, but almost went up 3-0. Crystal with a tough bank here, but lands it, gets it in the pocket, barely doesn't drop. Wow, what a great attempt on a bank shot here. Take a look at this again. Took her a moment, but she really did that well. Wow. Oh, Mario taking a prediction here, saying Team Line 'em Up is going to walk through this tournament because Mr. Ryan Lineham is arguably the strongest player in the entire tournament. Interesting. Very interesting here. Oh, what a response back from Miss Ginger with the bank right away. Oh, my goodness gracious. She's earned herself instant replay with that, too. Pile drives it right on in. Great bank shot. Both ladies doing really well. And Miss Ginger will go up 1-0. And that will also get her team another team point. So right now, Line 'em Up is up 4-0. There we go. And with that, actually, that is going to get Mr. Edward his 3rd rack. So actually, Line 'em Up isn't at 4-0 anymore. They're up 5-0 right this moment. Could we see another flawless victory shutout on the live stream here? My mind's gonna be blown if that ends up happening. Right now, I mean, this could definitely be happening though. Ginger with the break. 8-ball getting a little bit of movement towards the left-hand side of the table. And nothing on the drop. Ooh, a couple good options here right off the bat, though. Let's see what Crystal decides to go with, but there's there's a couple good options indeed. Mario on the Facebook side said, thank you for the stream. My pleasure. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Mario's reminding us here they won the last Canada Cup Championship as well. Woo-hoo, that's a strong team indeed. Coming back to defend that title, baby. Let's go. I like it, man. I love strong competition, man. Love it. I don't care who you got on your team. I want to take them on. That is one of the most amazing things about APA and CPA and just being a part of this whole situation. It's so much fun. By the way, I will say I love Crystal starting off on solids. I like that option. There's definitely stripe as a choice there as well, but I like solids for sure. Team Line 'em Up is actually 1 rack away each from, and again, if I've been following that second table properly here, 1 rack away each from a flawless victory. Team Stroke of Luck needs to get a little bit of luck going and get this party rolling in their favor. Time to start playing a little reversal on them. Guys, also as well, just want to give a quick shout out. Appreciate everybody across the board. We are live on Jacksonville APA's Facebook, Jacksonville APA's YouTube, and my YouTube as well, the Voice of Jacksonville Pool. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Nice little twofer from Miss Crystal. Well played. Tell you the thing these ladies are doing extremely well at is just, again, the slower speed, the pocket speed almost, if you will, not overhitting things. Again, if you can start getting your 2s and 3s where they start getting stuff closer and closer to pockets, a lot of shots would be doable. One of my favorite things to tell on stream is the story where I laughed my butt off. And somebody was like, that person ain't a 3. Because they completed a 4-ball run. They had ball in hand on the 1 ball that was not sitting in a pocket. And they ran the other 3 after that. And the person said they weren't a skill level 3. And I just started laughing a little bit. I'm like, you realize, like, everything was, like, just sitting in pockets. And the 1 ball that wasn't, which wasn't even tied up on anything, they had ball in hand for. Yeah, if you can ever do it, you just increase your odds. It's a really, really good thing. It's a good strategy. Take a quick gander at the other table. Mr. Pauly at the table. Nice little shot there for us to come on over to. 8-ball sitting right outside that top left-hand corner pocket. We'll worry about him getting stuck here with the rest of those balls. I think he was too. That's why he was trying to make it happen. Seemed a little disappointed on that shot. Mr. Edward here needs to take pure advantage of this. Ooh, he might have knocked his way out of that line of sight here. Take a quick gander at the other table. Miss Ginger coming back. She got the 2 stripes up over there, top half of the table. Again, smooth stroke wins the day. She gets a little knock into it. She hit it good. She was barely off, but she still, I think, would have got the bump off the 11 ball. She really, again, set herself up for success. Edward giving ball in hand there, trying for his last ball, that 14 off the bottom short rail. Pauly should be able to work through this just fine and play it smart against him. I mean, that 14's not in a crazy bad place, but it's not in a great place. I mean, it's against the rail, but it's not a full diamond away. With great run potential right now. Little tic-tac in tow. Set yourself up to pull back on that 4-ball here in just a second. You'll be just fine. Slow rolling the 3 in. Pauly trying to get on the board. And it is a 5-4 race now with Edward being up 3-0. So technically it is a 5-1 race. But this will be a huge point right here for Mr. Pauly to get. And he does. Nicely done. Back to the ladies over here, Crystal and Ginger. Oh, no. Q-ball just traversing right there against the top short rail and just drifting on over that corner pocket. That was about to be a little dangerous. Miss Ginger does have good eyes here on the 11 and actually should be able to work on these other 2 stripes, to be honest with you. I wonder how much room that 14 and 8 truly have, and I think she still has eyes on it for the bottom left-hand corner pocket. So the only one I'm worried about ultimately is the 5 and the stripe here towards the bottom left or bottom right. There we go. Nice little combo, smooth speed. Doesn't overhit it. She actually opted to go across the table here. Take a quick look at the break. 8-ball got a little bit of movement, but no go on that golden break for Mr. Pauly here. Oh, she's going to still go for that stripe towards the top left here. Might go for the bank. Oh, a little bit of a miscue here. But still not bad. I mean, Crystal doesn't have a lot going on in her favor. She's got to make some of this happen in her favor from here. Even if she goes for a bank here, might be able to open up closer towards center of the table, even if it doesn't go. So acts kind of like a nice little two-way. She doesn't free up the 5 and the stripe here at the bottom. There we go. It's drifting close. Perfect. That is a great leave. I know some people would look at that and be disappointed they didn't make anything on the shot, but that 2's in a better place at this point. Because now that 2 can help her get to the 5. Nice little bank shot option here. Well played by Miss Ginger. She gets clipped up close that last stripe next to the 5-ball here. Be careful about this for the potential hit for a double hit. Looks good to me. Nice slow roll there. Clips up the 5 a little closer to her 14, but doesn't fully block it. However, Crystal is in a good driving seat here for the 5 to the 2. 8-ball, though, is in Problemville for her. It's going to be a tough one. Nice follow through again. Good setup for the 2. Very well played by Miss Crystal. There we go. Keeping it nice and simple. There is actually a little bit of a back bank. She has an option there. Top left-hand corner pocket. And it looks like what she's looking at right away. Yeah. This is not easy to do. You got to almost come close to hitting into the 14, let it go. As you pretty much want the 8 to hit that left-hand diamond off the bottom short rail. Hits a little hard, but it goes. What a shot by Miss Crystal. Nicely done. Very, very well played. She gets a little love from this bank, though. She did it good. Quick little instant replay, though. Crystal getting both a point there and a team point. Very, very important situation that just happened right there. Keeping team stroke of luck right in it. Oh, great question, Steve. So Steve asking, if someone sunk the 8-ball and didn't mark the pocket, can I, as the opponent, tell the player good shot and basically keep on going and they get the point? Or would the ref force that rule? I don't think the ref would force that rule. I don't want to misspeak and overstep my bounds here, so please take this with a grain of salt. But I don't believe a ref would come in to enforce a rule. By the way, nice out by Pauly. On something like that you didn't call a ref over for. Now, with that being said, there are some finals matches that have a ref right there with it. I've seen it in Vegas before, and yes, that could potentially get called on that. But I think, I think, like you're saying, I think it would just go through just fine. With what you're talking about, I think that opponent would still get that point. But it is important to mark the pocket. And you can remind the opponent, too. Like, if you see it and you see they're shooting at it, you can be like, hey, mark the pocket. Very simple to do. Apologize. I was sitting here to explain that, and I did not switch over in time for Miss Crystal's break. I think the important thing about marking the pocket is just kind of understanding the whys. You know, you've got to be able to call your 8, and if it's in an obvious spot, you know, there's only one choice and stuff. You know, you just don't want somebody like being like, oh, well, I meant to do that, and magically make it elsewhere when it was like, no, like, you didn't mean to do that. If you mark the pocket, there's no question. So right now in the Crystal Ginger matchup, there is still one more team point to be had. So either after this matchup is done, it will either be 2-5 or 1-6. And then in the matchup between Paulie and Edward, right now, Paulie still needs 3 racks to Edward's 1. So if Edward gets the point, there will again be one more team point. However, if Paulie gets the win here and brings us back, which he's working hard on it to make that happen, he could still end up getting 2 team points here for Team Circle Up.
Change the name of the team.
Crystal going for that 11 ball left-hand side pocket. Looks like she's lined up a little bit bottom. It's going to fling the cue ball up. Yep. Now, because she hit it softly, it did kind of still veer a little bit to the left. Had she hit a little bit harder with bottom, it would have kept a straight line there and just went up to the top middle of that top short round. Just looking to get a little breakout with the 14 here. Not bad. Again, not a bad leave. 14 is, I would dare say, in a little bit of a better position. I don't think the 2 goes by to the bottom left-hand corner pocket now. It's not a bad choice at all. Nice little slow roll there. Again, 1 ball, slightly better position now. Not too shabby at all. Let's check in on the other table. Mr. Edward again for line him up right here. Ooh, avoids that left-hand side pocket for the scratch. Has a nice little goose egg sitting for the 4 ball bottom right. He's got some really good potential here for this. I'm a little worried per se about the 2. But I think with where the 5 and the 4 are, that he'll have some access to work with on this. Back to the lays over here between Crystal and Miss Ginger. Smooth stroke here on the 7 ball right-hand side pocket. If she follows us up, she have good eyes on the 6 here, bottom right. She could go 1 ball as well, top right. 3 ball seems like it might be in a little predicament, and you got the 4 5 that are kind of off of each other a little bit on that left-hand long rail. So don't really like where those 2 are sitting. There we go. She gets back above the 3. Nice placement. Nice shot here by Edward. Guys, give me 1 second. We're actually in for a little bit of a treat. Got somebody coming to join me over here on the live stream, so bear with us for just a moment while we get them set up. Well, we got Mr. Arno here joining us, which, Mr. Arno, we might be in a little bit of a predicament here because I think Mr. Edward just got the win on that one. Yeah, he definitely did. All right, I did have the score right. So right now, team line them up. They're up 6 to 1 right this second. We're going to jump back over to Crystal and Ginger, Miss Ginger at the table. So, Arno, how you been, bud?
I've been great. I've been playing pool all day over here with the amateurs. I'm not participating in the actual event,
Okay.
but I heard it was in Montreal, so I decided to come by and hit a couple balls.
There you go. There you go.
Great players here today, honestly.
Yes.
Smart players, both offensively and defensively. I've noticed that whenever there's issues on tables, players are very aware on how to proceed.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree with you 100% on that. It was wild earlier when you stopped by a moment ago. We, with the women's side, we had a 6-0 flawless victory, 45 total minute stream, which there's a 5-minute countdown timer, so it was a 40-minute match.
Wow.
Yeah, it was quick, fast, done over with. I was like, goodness gracious.
Yeah, I mean,
man.
it's I've seen some games that have lasted a couple hours.
Yeah.
I've seen some very quick ones. It depends on the racks, how the players are breaking, and how well the layouts are.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Talking about the breaks, man, it's wild how just crazy important. Like I see it in the pro level for sure, where a break can kind of make or break things. But you're definitely, I agree with you, in this higher level tournament, you're starting to see that here too. It's really rearing its head to where, like, you need to be able to control your breaks somewhat. You may not be able to make something all the time, but letting the cue ball just go wherever it wants to go 24/7 is not a strategy at all in this, and it's definitely not going to pay out for you.
Absolutely. There's been a lot of players that have been using the more traditional break for 8-ball on bar tables, meaning we use the back rail as a support to be able to propel all of our weight and all of our energy into the cue ball and create as much chaos on the rack as possible while at the same time controlling that cue ball. For anyone wondering, there's a lot going on here in Montreal. There's a lot of events, a lot of pros here to do a couple exhibitions. Tomorrow we're going to have Florian Venom Color do a little trick shot demo here at 7 p.m. So yeah, a lot of action, and I'm sure the players are enjoying this event just as much as I am, even though I'm not participating. They're enjoying it even more, if anything.
Well, I appreciate you holding down for just a second. I was talking with Mr. Serge here from Winning Stroke, and this is the team that had some pool cues going wild there. This is the team here that actually set everything up for us.
Yep.
Over here. We actually see them in the background with the banner there. But give me a moment here, guys. When they are freed up here, I do want to kind of show you this double light setup over each table, which has been a huge thing for me. Sorry, we got some of our Jacksonvillian people coming on by here. They're playing a Mini Mania in the money now, having fun. But no, I agree with you about the break. It's man, sometimes I like to keep the break simple. Like I literally, I'm going straight in, just dead center. I use a little bit of bottom stop shot it, basically leave the cue ball pretty center of the table and see what I have in terms of making something from there. But I just other times, man, I just feel like I'm losing too much control of that cue ball. I just cannot stand where it just flies all over the place. I end up scratching most of the time. It just gets annoying.
Well, when you start being too perfectionist, you start sometimes even adding a little bit of spin without even thinking about it. It's just subconscious. You're trying to be too perfect. A lot of players tell me pool is about 50% what you can control and 50% what you can't.
Oh.
You just need to focus on what you can control and just stick that cue ball in the middle of the table. If it gets a bad kick, it gets a bad kick.
Yeah.
But you can't try to predict the unpredictable.
I agree with you on that. Yeah, there's too many factors. It's kind of like I talk chat all the time whenever somebody's holding the bridge, for instance, and they're using both hands. They're moving the bridge, they're moving their cue, and you're adding all those extra vectors in place out of nowhere. But it's like I always tell them, like you need to eliminate extra things because you're trying to control too much of what's going on, and you're adding a whole extra set of circumstances into your repertoire that that shouldn't be there. Like you're just not gonna be able to control them properly.
Yeah. There's a reason why even the best of the world have sports psychologists to help them out through those mental, let's say, lapse of judgment sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
a huge lapse of judgment to think that you can control everything.
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is. I agree with you. Now I don't know what you got going on tomorrow. Are you going to be here tomorrow?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So,
So we're going to have you on stream a little bit more tomorrow.
yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I put him on the spot, Chad. I'm trying to peer pressure over here. Okay. Trying to peer pressure because if I understand correctly, you're fluent in both English and French.
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yes. I've done a bit of commentating for the Predator Quebec Pro-Am Tour.
Ooh, let's go. I like that, man. That's a big deal.
Yeah, so I'm both a player and a commentator. I feel like I learn more, if not by commentating and actually sometimes even playing the game, just because I see the game through a different perspective.
Yeah.
And I'm all about just learning and getting better and
Yes.
hopefully being, a world-class player. That's the dream.
I love that. I love that indeed. Now, I do know it's Mr. Scott over there for team line 'em up on the second table here. Skill level 6 captain. Whew. Good thing she avoided that left-hand side pocket. But I got to find out who his opponent is that he's against here. So we'll see if we can find out in just a second, and we'll be on to that one as soon as the ladies finish here. No, I agree with you. One of my favorite things is so I used to play league regularly on Monday nights, and we'd have 9-ball doubles and 9-ball league. And it was funny because I had a really long weekend of streaming and commentary. I'm talking about like both Saturday and Sunday, 14-hour days type deal.
Yeah.
And saw a lot of really great players. I saw some really cool shots and everything. And, after that point of not being on a table and talking about the table the whole time, I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, I want to be on the table. And it's so funny. I come in like a wrecking ball and was decimating my opponent on Monday night. And again, I always laugh when this comment gets made. They're like, you're not such and such skill level. And like the other person on Saturday, they're like, you realize what he just did all weekend, right? I was like, that's right. I was like, I was in front of a computer screen for 28 hours. I was like, leave me alone. I was like, I wanted on that table so bad. Perfect. I didn't want to bother Miss Crystal here, but she knew what I needed. Quitting up on the other table here. So both skill level 6s over here. So it's a nice little 5 race on the second table. Again, we'll switch over to that as soon as we are done. We're going to give the ladies their due diligence here and let them wrap up.
Yeah, no, it's great to see, such a big events. I'd say 700 players. This is like the biggest event I've ever attended.
There you go.
And I'm not even participating in it, but it was so it looked so cool and so fun to have so many players at the same spot that I was like, I want to come. And at 3 a.m. this morning, I sent a couple of texts to Pascal, the man in charge of the CPA here, and or CPA, sorry, and he asked me to come, and I gladly came, and I said, if anybody needs my help with anything, help this morning a little bit with the balls, and just enjoying a nice weekend.
Yeah. No, I mean, I love the fact you came on out. It is such an undertaking, and one of the things I actually love, especially, what a good try on that bank shot. One of the things I love the most about working for the APA now is I really like, because I work on behalf of Jacksonville APA, and I get to see a lot of the behind the scenes now that I never knew before. And there's almost like this, like, I want to say like a direct pride of like not showing the players how much work goes into making all this happen. Yeah. Like they don't, like, you don't know all the behind the scenes and stuff. And again, like the league operators don't want you worrying about that. They want you to have fun. They want you to come out of here. Obviously, I'm doing the mantra here for APA, where it's have fun, play pool, meet people. But that's what it's about. Great out. Nicely done by Miss Crystal.
No, I mean the team, the winning stroke team had a very long night. I think they worked until 5 a.m.
I wouldn't be surprised, man, but that is, wow.
They kept working this morning on the demo table for, I think, 2 more hours, trying to level it perfectly.
That's amazing.
The exhibitions later. I think that actually there's a break competition going on at the moment.
Let's go. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That's too cool.
I think there was also a Beat the Pro contest earlier as well, where you got a $25 gift card if you actually managed to beat the pro.
I love that. I saw Miss Striking Viking herself. Got to meet her for the first time ever. That was an honor and pleasure. That's one of my favorite things about these events. My first time in Vegas. But my first time in Vegas for APA, like I remember going out there and meeting Mike Massey. I met Dr. Q. I saw Florian. Met Jeanette Lee. Like it was just. I mean, what a treat! Like right, like it's an event that I will never soon ever forget in my whole entire life. I have so many photos and memories from that for sure, and definitely a good time to say the least. So.
I hope I can do that in the next couple of years. It's certainly in the plans to travel and play pool around the world. And
there you go.
Yeah, it's Vegas is one of the places where I want to go.
Well, I definitely hope you get to do so as well.
Yeah.
It's a blast out there, man. Absolute treat. Ooh, 2 skill level 3s here for the last throw in this matchup over here. We're going to be back on this table right now between Mr. Quentin and Mr. Scott. Mr. Scott's back to the table here for Team Line 'em Up. Again, they're up 6-2.
As the Shane Van Boning set up with the SVB Q-Tech Q and the extension as well.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of that new Q-Tech Q, woo,
Yeah.
I think it's gorgeous. I still want the Q-Tech X though. That is my next crown jewel. I'm a Q-Tech fanboy. Nothing against anybody else. I love you guys. I know I'm gonna stir something up in the comments, if you will. We all have our favorite toys and accessories when it comes to playing pool, but
For me, it's definitely. I'm very lucky. I'm sponsored by them actually. Predator Qs.
yes, sir.
Very lucky to be sponsored by them. They offer great support and help me improve dramatically.
No, if it wasn't Q-Tech, it'd probably be Predator for me too. So I don't blame you on that. Don't blame me one bit, man. Both good quality, and I don't know, man. I just love the fact of how much maybe tell me your experience here, but I feel like past maybe like 2 or 3 years, like we've had a real ramp up in all sorts of Q technology and new things for Qs and stuff. It's been nice.
To me, the biggest one is the air rush from Predator.
Yes.
That jump Q.
Oh
is
my gosh,
so
yes.
Good.
Yep.
It's so good. Unfortunately, I think in your league you're not allowed to jump.
Yep, Masters can, but in regular play, no go. Not with a jump Q, I should say. You
Yeah.
can full Q jump if you can get it out, but
okay.
yes.
No, there's all these different rules I had to get used to, and the pros had to get used to as well. For example, no push for 9-ball and stuff like that. But it's been fun learning and actually practicing different strategies, I'd say.
Yes, sir. It's definitely a way to look at it. I love your enthusiasm around it for sure.
Well, getting out of your comfort zone is really the only way you're going to feel more comfortable in tournaments and stuff
Bingo.
like that.
It's a great way to grow.
Yep.
By the way, I want to give a shout out to stream here. Miss Samantha Shays in stream. What's going on, my dear? Welcome in. She said stream looks good. Appreciate you. It is definitely cold. More so it was windy cold. Like it was when the wind hit you, it kind of took your breath away a little bit with how much kind of ice cold air it hit you with. And we definitely had one of our Floridians here. I won't say who, but he was definitely running around in shorts and a short sleeve shirt earlier after getting here. So that was pretty funny. But yeah, as for Miss Virginia here, the two teams, one team, which I think it's Stroke of Luck, is from New York, and Line 'em Up, I believe, is Rhode Island. So neighbors just across the way.
It's actually a great shot.
Yeah.
It's actually a great shot.
It almost seemed like he was like a little disappointed for a second there, but that's
like as good as it's going to get, to be honest.
It always cracks me up too when I see stuff. I'm like, man, I was like, that's a great leave. And you see them just shaking their head, and they're like, that isn't a great leave. I'm like, no, you want that angle on that ball. Like that was not a bad leave at all.
Yeah.
I would take that leaf.
Yeah. Again, it comes down to like accepting that it can't be perfect. Like this is sometimes in pool, good enough is good enough. Like you don't need to be perfect.
Well, the thing I love the most, one of the things I was taught kind of later in my years after joining APA, after getting really some of the basics down, is kind of start picking out zones. So what I would start doing is I would literally start drawing imaginary lines and kind of shading a portion of the table of like, if I'm anywhere here, I can work on that next shot. Obviously, out of this whole shade area, I'd like to be right here type deal. But if I'm at least in the quote-unquote imaginative shaded area in my brain, you know, I can work on that part.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best practice, honestly, it's what I do, is I'm going to use a target, like from target pool.
Yeah.
And then as you get better, just make the target smaller. So
I love the fact you know about target pool. Let's go.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's definitely one of my main practices.
That's great.
I'd say if I'm playing 8 hours in a day, it's probably going to be like 3 hours of that.
Mm.
Like the more
Wow.
boring the practice, the better, honestly. Because if you can focus doing something boring,
Yeah.
you'll have no problem focusing when it's time to actually play the game and you enjoy it.
Yeah. That's true.
If you don't like the process,
Mhm.
you're not going to enjoy like practice. So you
Yeah.
just need to enjoy the process.
I like it. That's such great advice. Miss Samantha Shea, I'll let this man introduce himself. It is not the one and only Jason Bowman, though.
No, my name is Arno Rakovic. I'm a semi-pro here in Montreal in the Predator Quebec Pro-Am circuit. This is my first year actually in that circuit. Trying to get back into high competitive pool, I'd say.
Love that.
Yeah, I've commentated a little bit for the tour in French, but I think I'm doing pretty okay in English.
You're doing phenomenal. Yeah.
Doing my best here.
No, it is. Yeah, you're doing just fine. Just fine. And I'm not like literally, I'm not just saying it just to say it. Like, I do mean it. You're doing just fine in it. You're doing good. If I could ask, and feel free to not feel like you got an answer here, but is there one of the pros that you kind of look up to that you love to watch anytime they're on the table that you can?
Yeah, there's three.
All right, give me the three.
There's four. There's Danny Iwit.
Okay.
He's like his break at 10 ball is so great to watch, honestly.
I love it. You not only have your favorite, you got your favorite for a very specific reason here. That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I have Vincent Borivage, just for his mental. Like, it's just insane. I have Sylvain Gingras, just for like pure like potting and confidence. It's just insane.
Yeah.
And for like the technical aspect, like the cueing and the like before the shot and during the shot, Nicolas Charette. He's like one of the Quebec pros that like he's on and off. He can just decide to play and he's just insane. His fundamentals are crazy good. They all have their strong points.
Yeah.
I just take the best from each player and then make sure I just absolutely understand what they're doing. And then obviously like practice with them. I think that's the most important part. There's obviously so many other pros though. I mean, there's David Deschênes, which supports me a lot as well.
Shout out.
And there's I mean, if I have to shout someone out, it'd be David Blanchet. He helped me so much through my career, honestly.
There we go.
And he does so much for the tour here in Quebec. And he's done a phenomenal job, to be honest. So he's just great to have someone that I know I can count on if I have any questions or anything. He's always present, and he's always just looking to see me perform better, which is, you know, very comforting in a little way. Like, even though sometimes I have a bad performance or whatever, he just says whatever, just forget about it, move on.
No, take like you were talking about earlier, like take the part of it that you can learn from. What is it that I could control that was within my tool belt that I can do? Cool, let's get that. Like, one of my favorite things is there's a couple of guys down in Florida that one of them, Anthony McLino, he was what I call semi-pro. The only reason he doesn't really push towards it is he's got a full-time job that he loves and adores. But he is stupid crazy good at pool, and one of my favorite things, I watched him miss one shot. One simple shot. It wasn't anything crazy. He missed it. And I promise you, until it was his turn up, as long as there was a practice table open, he went after that shot probably no less than 40 times, and I'm not exaggerating. Like, I'm nowhere near exaggerating that number. And I was like, man, that's amazing. And he just got to the point where he just nailed it every time.
Yep.
And I was like, McLean, I was like, you already shoot so good. I was like, why are you worried about that? He's like, because I know that shot. He's like, that shot's not a problem for me. I shouldn't have had that issue.
Mm.
I was like, man, I was like, way to like drill it home. Like, I love it.
It's intense.
Yeah.
I know I did that after a tournament where I just kept hitting the same shots because I missed it a couple times.
Yep.
I'm not a huge fan of using I don't know how you call them, but the circles that you put on the table to mark.
Oh, it's just yeah. You're like little circle dots almost.
Yeah, little circle dots. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of using that because I'm not practicing one shot. I'm practicing a type of shot.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
If I'm just practicing one shot, after that, it's so muscle memory. I'm just going to cut it the exact same way, even if it's not the exact same shot.
Yeah.
So I'd rather practice it like that. But for target pool, for example, I'm still going to use it. Steve, Chris Melling is, I agree, he's like a really good pro to watch. He is really creative, especially with his rails. You can watch his 8-ball runouts, his massive kick at the Moscone Cup. He is an absolute demon with those rails, man.
Talking about that, I actually. Say it again. Real question? Yeah. If the balls are touching together, is considered frozen. Yes. Now, if you need a watch on a hit, you need to get a ref involved with it. I cannot do it via the live stream, but yes, if two balls are touching together, they are considered frozen. That is correct. So, but I would get a shot watch and get a ref involved. I would speak. There normally is one in this room, but if not, I'd speak to the ladies out there. But you need to let. So the rule question involved here with this one is that if that cue ball and that 15 are frozen and touching, he can technically do what's known as a push-through shot, and it would not be a double hit. So the team was asking about the rules question. I told them that if they want to get a shot watch, they definitely need to get a ref involved. One aspect of the live stream, we cannot use the live stream to make a call or anything like that.
I think as long as you don't just aim directly at the ball, you should be fine.
Yeah. Well, in this case, even if you aim directly at it, if they're frozen together,
Yeah.
you're actually, as weird as it is, it's considered good. It's in there. But yeah, it's an interesting one. No, it's funny. I may get some hate from the American side of this around Jason Shaw, but I enjoy watching him just because I love the fact we talk about the mental aspect of the game. The louder that crowd booed during the Moscone Cup, the better he shot.
Yeah.
I mean, that
fed
off of it. And I'm looking at him the whole time like, if y'all don't shut your booing mouths, I probably would have been booing too if I was there. I'm jealous. I want to go to Moscone one year. Yeah, I'd love the fact that, like, I admire his mental capacity and the what is it, straight pool, if I remember correctly, that
Yep.
he was doing the run for. I only got to watch I probably said for about an hour. I got to watch it and everything, but that was really cool. That was really awesome.
Was it 625 balls or something?
Yeah. It was so stupid up there that I was like, that is just like, how do you do what you do?
You will notice Jason Shaw also has his rest hand very close to the cue ball. He will have it much closer than what you would normally call a standard bridge hand.
I didn't think about that. No.
I've analyzed a lot of players to see what they do well. Like, for example, Skylar Woodward really knows how to cut the balls on the rails and stuff like that. They all have, their own style. Feder Gorst, obviously iconic style. Same thing with Shane.
Yep.
But Jason, that's his style. His bridge hand is much closer to the actual cue ball.
I'm going to look at that now. I appreciate that little analysis part because I haven't noticed that before.
I know Carl Boys is the first one who actually brought it up, and then after that I realized.
Yeah, it kind of opens our eyes a little bit on that stuff. That's another thing about doing commentary and watching stuff again. Like you don't know what you don't know, but then you start catch on these little different like tricks and quirks and different things that we all have, and it's really mind blowing about the different ways that we all shoot this same game.
Yeah.
It's mind blowing.
As long as the balls drop, I mean.
Yeah.
You do you.
Well, I always love telling chat the fun fact. I'm right-handed in everything in life. Everything I do, right-handed. I'm right-handed drummer. I write right-handed. I'm right-eye dominant. I shoot pool left-handed, and I've always done so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I'm different then. No, I'm lefty. I'm a
Okay.
lefty. I'm lefty for pool. I'm right eye dominant, so I
Oh.
need to make sure that my I do exercises for my back and stuff like that, and make sure not to injure myself.
That makes complete sense.
And yeah, no, but for sports, for example, like golf or hockey, I play as a righty.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's too good. I like that. By the way, chat, y'all are going to have to be mad at me for a second, but I am the world's worst at getting photos here. We're fixed to do a little photo together. I'm so bad about when I have people in the booth getting photos.
No, honestly, I think that'd be the first time I ever have a photo of me on a booth.
There you go. Well, it's going to be on my Facebook page
Perfect.
once I do a little trip montage. I got to get more photos, though.
Yeah.
I said I'm bad about doing it sometimes. Then I'm going to see if I can start getting some of these teams I'm streaming and see if they'll let me get a little group photo with them all together.
So what's been how have the tables been?
Man.
This TV table, I know that some people say that the lights sometimes make the tables play a little quicker. But
I mean, you could definitely feel that way for sure. I like the way the rails have been reacting so far. Everything has been really, in my opinion, very consistent, very
Yes.
predictable. As much as I've swapped between the two tables, like every once in a while, like you can pick up on a little nuance on one table. It's like, nah, like there's definitely something going on closer to that top left-hand corner pocket on this table or something like that. I haven't noticed a thing on it yet between either of these. They definitely running quick, but I'll be honest with you, the temperature in the room's good. The humidity in the room's good. I know some people may laugh at that, but being in Florida, like you can tell the days when we have our super high humidity days, and a couple of the pool halls, a couple of tables close to the door, like they get a little bit stickier at times and stuff.
Yeah.
Even with nice, beautiful cloth on it, it still happens. It's not something you can fully prevent. And so far, I feel like we, I might jinx it here, got like a picture perfect setup, if you will, of just like great temperature, great everything that's happening for this. Plus, we got the dual light setups, which is really, really cool in my opinion. There's literally two of the rectangular lights above both tables.
These Predator lights are pretty cool.
They're so nice. They set off such a good glow, and like I was telling Serge earlier about it, the thing I like most about it is until you get kind of underneath it and look up, you don't get blinded by the light. It's very, very direct on the table.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No, I was about to say no shadows and stuff. Like it's good.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. There's no shadows.
Yep.
It makes it so easy to see the 2-ball when it's close to the rail, or the 8-ball when it's close to the rail. It's just so good, so clean.
Yeah.
If you can afford it, I'd definitely recommend it. It's one of the best investments I made. It's just a game changer.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And Steve, I love your question. He's asking, are Predator tables better than Diamond, or are they too close to tell? Great question.
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Predator tables all the way.
There you go.
I love them. The Diamond tables are very square. I'm not used to playing with them.
Yeah.
But to me, the Predator tables, they have the tighter pockets. Like just by default, they're 4 1/4-inch pockets. So it really rewards being accurate. And I just love that.
Yeah.
And both tables, like the rails will play different.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard to kill a ball off a rail on a Predator table. It's a very skilled shot you need to understand, really. Diamond tables are just much more square, and since the pockets are slightly bigger on a newer cloth, it's going to accept more. But on
gotcha.
a used cloth, like if it's a couple months old, you'll already see the Diamond play almost as tight as a Predator.
Yeah.
Along the rails. Now that doesn't account for matchroom events where, unless I'm mistaken, I think that now all of Matchroom events are played on 4-inch pockets.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm not 100%
Oh.
sure. I definitely know the U.S. Open is 4-inch.
Yeah.
But
That's tough.
I don't know if, for example, the European Open and all the other Opens are 4 inches or 4 1/4. But yeah, no, I mean, 4-inch pockets, that's very, very tight.
Yeah, it is. It most definitely is. Yeah, that's tough pickings. There's a room in Florida, in Tallahassee, Florida, called Zingali's, and he's got if I remember correctly, it's 3 gold crowns in which they all, like, it starts at a certain size, and don't ask what it is, I don't remember, but the size of the pockets dramatically decreases as it goes down which table you're on, and you gotta see some of the fun, like, matchups that you see from people going up against that table, and like you watch a guy that's like every day of the week, like, I know you can run out on this. I know you sure can't. Like, I know a regular diamond table because that's what they're used to over there. I was like, I know you can run out, and sitting there rattling those pockets on those just because they're just the tiniest hair off, and you're like, oh, man, it is such a tough one to play against. So 4-inch pockets that's no joke, chat. That is
Yeah.
that will test you for sure.
I think, honestly, the size of the pockets is mostly mental. I know it's going to sound stupid to say, but
Oh, it's definitely
when you're
a mental part.
practicing,
Yeah.
you're going to, with big pockets, you're going to send the ball in the center of the pocket. And then the smaller they are, you kind of just start to panic a little bit.
Yeah.
Start to be scared of missing. And that's what happens. When you're scared of missing, you're gonna start missing.
Yep.
Confidence is really key. And you see this in all kinds of sports. I see this generally with the young players. I mean, where confidence is just so important. It makes the difference between winning a match or losing a match. Even if you're playing against a better opponent, if you shoot with confidence and you're sending a message to your opponent that you're not scared, all of a sudden he's going to start asking questions.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Like, what's going on? What's this person doing? How are they shooting as well as they are? You know, I agree with you. There's multiple times I've seen on stream where their body language just absolutely just shows that they're not confident in the shot they're fixed to do, and that's when you see the extra chicken wing, the body English that happens, and it's like, no, like, I saw immediately when you got down on that shot, like, you might as well have been just shaking your head the whole time, being like, I'm not gonna make this, and like, it's no different. You're right. The mental capacity really can almost cripple you in the game if you allow it to. It's fear.
Honestly, I started seeing it when people were shooting, but now I see it when my opponent's in his chair.
Oh.
Just the body language of you sitting down.
Yep.
I can tell if you're in the game or if you are panicking.
Yeah.
It's, just the deep breath sometimes, or, you're not even looking at the game. That's a big tell for me. If you're just looking around and trying to distract yourself, to me, that's a huge sign that you're nervous.
I definitely agree. By the way, on the other table here, Mr. Ryan against Miss Amanda getting the first rack. So he's up 1-0 here in the race to 3 over there, which is important because Ryan's on Team Stroke of Luck, and I'm fairly certain that they can't lose another rack at this point. I'm pretty sure my math is right about that, but right now the best that Quint can get on this is a 2-0 win, which would make it 4-6, and then Ryan still has to pull out a win as well, so I think if Amanda gets it, I think that may be all she wrote here. We'll double check here. Obviously, we'll let the teams do their thing when it comes down to it, just in case I'm off on anything. But yeah, I think right now line them up is got Team Stroke of Luck against the wall.
Are there any games after this? I think there was a last queue at 11.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. You hit the nail on the head. Yeah, there's still an 11 o'clock round for a couple of the tournaments here, and plus, of course, plenty of mini manias here. We'll be ending the live stream after this one and then come back tomorrow morning. I think at 10 a.m., if I remember correctly, will be the first one we'll be streaming.
Okay.
But I am fairly certain women's division here, I think the one-loss side actually starts at 8 a.m. in the morning. So they got an early day to start their whole section off. So just talking through this here, honestly, I mean, this is one of the shots where I'm just using speed control. I get that he can get better positioning, but I think I'm just going to roll into this, take the somewhat little back cut that's going to be there on the 8 bottom right-hand corner pocket. How would you go about this? What are you doing on this one?
I mean, I would just slow roll it, but
Yeah, like he got a better lead than what I thought. I thought he'd have a tiny bit of a backup, but honestly, there's no reason to go multiple rails there. I think simple is the way to go sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, the less the cue ball moves, the more control we have. I mean,
Yeah.
that's really it. Oh, a lot of movement on that shot, but we still got the job done.
Yes, it was. Well, Scott up 2-0, race to 5 against Mr. Quinton for team line 'em up.
Yeah, Steve, you're absolutely right. Stress of the event does change everything. I mean, there's a reason why some players aren't made for competitive play. There's some players that, you know, can do great in exhibitions and play crazy shots, but at the end of the day, tournaments isn't about making those crazy shots, it's just making those regular all-day shots consistently.
Yes.
I think Alain Martel, he coached me for a little bit, and was a great mentor. He said that the best player in the world doesn't come up with the craziest shots. He just does the regular shots well all the time.
Yeah. And it holds true. Watch any of the pro events. You know, the moment they're having to finagle stuff is always when they get in trouble. It's always when they get a worse lead than what they already had, or they rattle the pockets. And you're like, oh, come on, and stuff. But it's like, no, like if they would have just kept to a simple run and didn't overdo something, they would have been just fine.
Yep.
Well, I don't know if you've ever read the book, The Secret Art of Tennis. I know that sounds silly. I've talked about it on chat before on live streams. But if you really want to improve your pool game, and I know that sounds absolutely silly because I just told you the name of the book is The Secret Art of Tennis. But realistically, the heart of the book is talking about how we learn, right, and how we learn things naturally and stuff and do things. And then it talks about that second self and how, like, when that second self's in control, the first self isn't trying to take control over the situation and barging in, and really that second self is like your muscle memory to an extent, and allows you to do what you naturally want to do on the table because you've learned how to do it instead of trying to take control. And the whole reason that book was ever mentioned to me was actually my league operator, and that's because in 8-ball, I would always get a good rundown and get on the 8, and I'd be like, all right, 8, you're going home, your normal ball, nothing crazy, you're going home, just get in there, 8-ball. And, like, he laughed at me. He's like, do you do this every time? I was like, yeah, because I psych myself out because it's the winning ball. Like, it's the main ball. And reading that book has absolutely helped change the way my game is, because when I start to catch that main self wanting to take control, I try to lean back in what I know to do. I get back in my pre-shot routine and let it flow.
Yep.
And it works out so well.
I mean, it's not unheard of. You're not the first one to talk to me about tennis and pool.
It's wild.
Yeah. I mean,
it's very wild.
The same learning. Same. Yes, it's just the same way of learning. I know tennis, golf, and pool generally go together.
Yes.
That's what I've noticed.
Yeah, there are plenty, especially golf side of it. I laughed that you mentioned that because I was about to. But there is a lot of higher end pros that also play golf. And it cracks me up.
Yep.
Well, you know what doesn't crack me up is this bottom right-hand sector of this table here. This is, wow. Looks like the 14 followed by the 9, and then 11 off the bottom short rail, and tied up in between the rest of it is the 2 and 4, which at least have some breathing room, no big deal, but the 1 and 7 and the 8s decided to be all up in that mess. Did he just get that out of there?
Yeah.
What a shot.
It was a great shot. That was a smart shot, too.
Very well played.
The 11 made the pocket even bigger, so.
Look at this, guys. I'm real. I mean, he lined up for it. Look at the angle he's aiming here on the instant replay, top left. And that was brilliant. Didn't even overpower it or nothing. Like, I mean, he just a nice roll into the pocket. Very well played. Wow.
Yeah. Got into a bit of trouble here, though.
Yeah, he's hooked. That 5 ball is keeping him from the 15 by the look of it, and he definitely don't have eyes on the 11 proper without a 1-rail kick.
I wouldn't even try to kick the 11, and I mean, I know that it's actually it's an easy kick, if you will, because it's so close to the rail. But my fear would be actually making it and just getting stuck behind the wall of balls.
Yeah, this is where you're going to get yourself in a little bit of trouble if you
Yeah.
go. Oh, he's going for it.
He needs a lot of pace if he wants to get out.
Oh, he did hit it with a lot of pace.
That
Wow,
was-
no love.
That was the shot, though.
Goodness gracious. He even got above the 5.
Yeah.
Like, I know he's clipped up close to it, but, like, wow. Man, Scott's dangerous. Scott is really dangerous in this matchup here. Quentin has got to be on his P's and Q's, if you will. Scott has come to take them out.
Honestly, I think that one thing that you can also learn when you're watching players just play the game, whatever their level is, they'll come up with different shots that you didn't think of.
Yes.
That might sound stupid, but whenever you're playing it, it can be something like just playing for safeties and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you don't think about it because you're thinking too offensively, or you just have a different mindset.
Yeah.
You'll see this with the pros at the big events in the first round when they're playing open players.
Yeah.
It's there's some upsets because these guys you don't know how to adjust. The player's playing it differently. He's not really thinking or overthinking with a counter safety. He's just trying to hit the ball, for example. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's you're getting to watch a lot of pool is almost like one of those things you don't know what you don't know. And so,
Yep.
Sometimes when you go up against an opponent here and you start to see a couple different things, you're like, I might need to try to add that into the tool belt here, making some options. So,
Deceleration, unfortunately.
yeah, worry about the double hit.
That was a very smart shot, though, when you hit those balls that are so deep in the shelves with backspin.
Yeah.
It transfers the spin into front spin.
Yep.
On the 7 ball.
Yep.
So it would have, if you hit the top side of the 11, it would have actually pushed through and into the pocket.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
could have
very
worked well.
technical shot.
Miss Renee over here on the Facebook side said, let's go team line them up. There you go. Line them up is in definitely the winning position right now. Chocolate has a huge uphill battle. And again, if Scott gets to the hill, it'll be over. If I'm fairly certain, again, we'll double check, but if Amanda gets a rack over there as well, which she is one away from shooting the 8. Ooh, a little bit of a tough leave on that 8.
Might actually shoot this 8 in the bottom right corner. Send the cue ball up table so that if you do miss it and it's close to the pocket, there's no easy shot for the 2.
Nice little
So,
two-way there.
Two-way shot.
Yeah, I like that. And that's really like, looking at an APA and CPA and stuff, looking at skill level differences, that's when players start to see that, you definitely start to see somebody's skill level start to get elevated, and either they're knocking on the door that next tier up, or they may have already been that next tier up and they're in the what I call the fluctuation phase where they're jumping from 5 to a 6, and 2 weeks later they're back down to a 5, and 3 weeks after that back up to a 6, and it's amazing how that works. So
I call it the learning curve for me.
yeah,
If you look at, companies or, anything that you learn, there's a huge dip when you start changing the way you think or changing the way you act.
Yep.
Before you actually can take off. So I'm going to use the system I know. If you're a semi-pro, for example, and you become a pro player, and then all of a sudden you're changing your stroke, well, you might go back to a semi-pro level.
Yeah.
But once you've mastered the stroke, then you're going to rocket your results way high.
Yep. That's hilarious because I talked about something very similar on the stream. Let me let you finish your story here, but I definitely want to speak on that in a second because this is amazing. Two separate people from 2 very different walks of life here, chat, and we've already been hitting the nail on the head about something very similar with this subject matter.
Yeah, no, I mean that's pretty much it. Like, man, and I know this because I'm going through that right now.
He's like, I'm wearing those shoes.
I'm in those shoes where I'm trying my best, and there's a lot of pressure. I put
Yes.
a lot of pressure on myself. I'm 21 years old, and I'm trying to do the best I can, and a lot of people support me and push me to become better, and I'm always around better players than me. I think that's super important for your learning, but it's it can sting sometimes. You know, those 9-8 defeats against pros and stuff like that. Those 6-5 defeats,
Mm-hmm.
and you just accept sometimes that that's just you can't win all the time against these guys. That's number one, and number two is it's normal. You're learning.
Yeah.
Like if you're actually putting time on the table, and you're actually devoting all of your physical being and your mental being into the practice,
Mm-hmm.
you will pass them.
Yep.
Because there's not a lot of people that actually do that.
Yeah, I agree. No, we were talking earlier. There was a huge compliment on stream, and there's a gentleman that I happened to live stream. He talked about going back listening to some of the advice I gave him, and I was talking about breaking down because he was a lower skill level. I was like, you got to get to your fundamentals. It's like no matter what, like your fundamentals are off, the rest isn't going to go anywhere. And I talked about how like when you get the fundamentals down and then you start pushing past and you start going to something else. I said, and then you're going to fail. I was like, and when you do, you're going to get frustrated. It's okay. We all get frustrated. You revert back to your fundamentals again, right? Am I able to hit center ball? And am I having the good control of the cue, speed, all the basic stuff, the regular things. And then once you get that back down pat, I said you go after that same thing that you were trying to push forward again, and you're good to go. I said you're going to fly right past it. Everything else is going to start lining up. I said then you're going to pick something else from there to go forward with from there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with that being said, though, I think they have figured out what I was talking about earlier. But with it now, it is impossible for Team Stroke of Luck to get the win. With Miss Amanda getting the rack there, they have eliminated the chance here. Only a tie could happen in which Team Line 'em Up would get the tiebreaker here for the 3 wins. And so with that being said, Team Line 'em Up has officially sent Stroke of Luck over to the one-loss side bracket.
Yep.
There we go. Well, it has been an honor and pleasure. I look forward to having you on the stream tomorrow. This has been an amazing chat. I hope you all have enjoyed as well. You got anything else you want to shout out?
I'm just going to shout out my sponsors, Predator Cues.
Yeah, buddy.
If you need any equipment, I know that Serge and the Winning Stroke offer a lot of Predator products upstairs.
Yes, they do.
On the 4th floor. They also provide maintenance for your cues if you want your tip reshaped or your shaft cleaned last minute. They'll help you with that. And yeah, just thank you for actually promoting pool across the North America.
My honor and pleasure, man. It is as I tell Chad all the time, this is the job that if you love, you don't work a day in your life. This is it.
Yep.
This is it for me. So I'm very honored and blessed. Before we leave the stream, guys, I just want to show you all the kind of interesting setup. It's a little harder to tell from this lineup because we're so high up on the camera here. But there is 2 of those Predator lights per table. And again, my camera's here, as you can see, like there, and this is from the other camera for the other table. There's not a shadow on either of these tables here. It has been so well done. They had, of course, the professional levels out there as well. Like he said, Team Winning Stroke really, did a great job. Fresh Predator balls on the table, too. It is just, it's not but a huge winning combination, to say the least, from the Winning Stroke. So, huge shout out to them. Appreciate them. Appreciate Predator as well for helping us out here with the wonderful CPA Montreal Invitational of 2025, year number 3 in this. And we'll be back on the live stream, like I said, should be 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. So, guys, y'all, as always, take care, be blessed, get some rest. Of course, I want to be the guy that gets you to enjoy watching billiards. I'll see you tomorrow morning, same time, same place, 10 a.m. Take care, guys.
The voice of Jacksonville Pool.